Hey guys, had a little snafu here, and we're gonna had to restart the stream. I'm gonna reshare the link to this one here. It really, thankfully, it was before the first match started, so there won't be any combining necessarily. Just gonna reshare the better link here. Alright. Cool. So since the prior video will be deleted because it didn't really have anything, I'm gonna reiterate what happens here. The announcer tried to open the show up, but is immediately interrupted by Cactus Jack of FTOA, who demanded to fight somebody tonight. The announcer stated that there isn't a match scheduled for him or even for him to be there, but Cactus doesn't care and says he came to fight. After being threatened by Cactus, the announcer said he could try to get a hold of the matchmaker after the first match. Cactus isn't happy, but decides to hang around. So, the first match we have scheduled here is Sheldon Benjamin against Bob Backlund. And let's see how it goes.
Fight!
Ooh. Dodges the attack there. Ooh, backbreaker. Hip toss off the bounce. Oh, German. Headlock takedown.
Give up? Fight!
Going up top. Oh, dodges the knee drop. Ooh, Benjamin gets suplexed out of the ring. Gut wrench.
1, 2.
Only 2. Northern Lights.
1.
Only 1 there. Irish whip. Lariat dodge. Another Northern
1,
Lights.
2.
Only 2. Oh, pay dirt.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
No, trip. No, trip there. Irish whip from back one. Samoan drop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hook lariat.
Fight!
Counter. Another pay dirt.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, roll up.
1, 2.
Counter. Another pay dirt.
Break.
So, Sheldon Bench, most deadly finisher in AEW, the roll up. Yeah. Oh my god. I remember for a while in WWE, it felt like every other match ended with a roll up, and I'm just like, this is so. I don't like roll ups being like the main finishing move used because each wrestler has their own finisher, ranging from creative to something standard like a super kick or something. But it ends the match. I mean, I'm fine with roll-ups in more closely contested matches or something like that, or like surprises or something like that. I'm not a fan of them used as a way to protect wrestlers because here's the thing. Oh, Backlund with the win with the pile driver. Yeah, I mean, look at the classic Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man match. I mean, that match ended in a roll-up, but that was after, like, a grueling, long-ass, like, match, trading back and forth, and it was built up as a big rivalry for, like, months. You know? I mean, it was, like, really built up. Like, it should be that close. You know? Like, yeah, I think the roll-up has kind of been designated now as kind of a cheap way to protect people, because the guy that gets rolled up was caught off guard, and the guy that rolls in technically wins, but the guy's I just hate it that it's used as a way to technically give somebody a win, but, you know, I mean, I get you gotta protect certain guys. Sometimes you're in a corner and you want guys to still look good despite the result of a match, but maybe not rely on the roll-up for that. I think you can use actual wrestling moves to do that, but what do I know? Yeah, Benjamin, back when this match, even though Benjamin lost, because this match got an 87, he has been cleared from the injury list and can continue as normal. Not in kayfabe, though. Yeah. Alright, after that match, Cactus Jack decided he's done waiting, attacks Benjamin. Cactus says that he better have a fight next week or this will happen again. Benjamin is helped to the back and we cut to a commercial break. After a break, announcer said we will have updates on Benjamin once we know and we will wish him well. He then goes over the card for tonight's show, including Bundy versus Saint for the SWA TV title, an interview with Jerry Lynn, in the main event, a non-title match between Robinson and Haas. And we move on to match 2, which is Zbyszko versus Race. See how this one goes.
Fight!
Ooh.
Hi!
Back suplex counter. Swing neck breaker. Counter. Shoulder breaker from Zbyszko.
Yeah! Give up. One,
Cover.
two. Yeah. Give up. Give up.
Hi Eli, how you doing?
Fight. Yeah.
And for a cover.
2. Yeah.
That's good.
Give up. Give up.
Try to sneak in a big move
Give
early
up.
on here for Visco. $32X. Yeah. You know what? It's so weird with Sega, like, with that whole, all the add-ons for the Genesis. Like, they kept doing all these add-ons, and yeah, I don't know. Like, it was such a weird way to go about, like, getting into the next generation. Because they could have easily just let the Genesis be the Genesis and just release the Saturn. Because Super Nintendo did that. They were just letting their SNES do its thing and just focused on N64.
3.
And they were better off for it. Like, Sega made a grave mistake thinking that people were becoming done with 16-bit, because that 16-bit popularity was still pretty high. Even when the current gen came out, it was still pretty high. And they should have took that into account and focused more on the Saturn and not so much on, you know, hey, here's Genesis but with 32 bits, or here's the Sega CD. It's just like, yeah, not the wisest choices from them on all that. I mean, are there some gems within the 32X and Sega CD? Yeah, there's some gems. But, I mean, it's a lot of work and effort for a few gems.
Fight. 1, 2.
Ooh, almost had him there. Yeah, I bet.
4.
I mean, technically it could work because PlayStation also dealt with 32 bits as well as the 32X. So it could work. It's just you would have to be pretty creative on how things get used up.
Give up. Give up. Break.
I think this, yeah, it was in an AVGN video. It was like Sega Neptune or something. It was supposed to be pretty much just be a, like, all the add-ons just in one clean system.
1, 2, 3.
And it was, oh, look at that. And it was supposed to come out just before the Saturn. Was it before the Saturn or was it before the Dreamcast? I can't remember. I think it was before the Saturn. But they decided to scrap it because why bother when the Saturn was coming out? And then, after they did that, they released the Saturn months early, and the game developers weren't ready, so there was barely any games for the system for months. The developers got pissed because of it, because they weren't told. The fan base got pissed because there was, like, no games on it. It's the only Sega system that didn't have an original Sonic game. Any Sonic games that were added on later on were, like spin-offs or compilations. There wasn't an original Sonic game, like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or something like that. Yeah, they were going to go for a planet thing, which isn't a bad idea, in all honesty. It just didn't plan out like that, which is fine, because, in all honesty, like, the Dreamcast, for all intents and purposes, was a fantastic system, but Sega fucked up so bad that even when they did everything right with the Dreamcast, they still couldn't make it, because they fucked up that badly with the Saturn. It's crazy to me how Everything got so misplaced with that. Alright. After match 2, the announcer goes over the results of the pay-per-view, and then goes into match 3, which is Bockwinkel versus Richards. Alright, let's see how it goes. Interesting. Cartridge-based Sega Saturn. I know Sega Saturn did have like a cartridge thing, but I don't think you could play Genesis games through it. I think it was for storage, so that's an interesting thing. The console has 32X in one system. Okay. Yeah, and here's the problem too, that when they were designing the Saturn, they were designing the Saturn to be the best 2D system ever with 3D capabilities. But then PlayStation came out with a system that was 3D first with 2D capabilities. And Sega decided to try to squeeze in 3D-isms in that Saturn system, and it wasn't quite enough. So, yeah. And here's the thing: Saturn's one of the few systems I don't have. However, out of all the systems that I still don't have, it's probably the one that's the most likely for me to get if it ever goes down in price.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it was good they scrapped all those plans, because the Saturn, the problem Sega had was that they just kept jumping the gun. They kept making the mistake of, oh, we got to get our stuff out first before everyone else to beat them, and it never worked, because they jumped the gun with the Saturn, and you know, everyone and with all the mistakes, people were kind of curious on PlayStation. Then PlayStation came out, and it was a juggernaut. And not only that, all the developers that were attached to not only Sega jumped to PlayStation because they were pissed at Sega for like not communicating well with game development, but there was people in Nintendo that jumped to PlayStation because they didn't want to program for the N64. They wanted to program with CDs like discs, because discs were cheaper and easier to do than cartridges. What system they probably had. Yeah, I mean, in terms of names, I think going by planets isn't a bad idea, although at some point you're gonna run out of names, so it's not a bad idea. Sega Moon. I mean, it's not a bad way of going about it.
1, 2.
They probably would have had more credibility if the consoles themselves held up, but they didn't.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
What they should have done is they should have just...
Break.
They should have not done all those extra peripherals. They should have just let the Genesis be the Genesis, and, you know, release the Saturn when they should have released the Saturn and went from there. Like, they overthought their shit. They should have just played it safe, and they would have been better off.
Give up.
Yeah, they weren't, because... yeah. Earth Sega CD. Oof. That would be a weird planet for the CD.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah,
Five,
they were pissed because they jumped the
7.
gun. They released the system months early and no one was prepared for it because they didn't say anything.
Give
So
up.
when it did come out,
Give
it
up.
wasn't widely available. There
Give
were
up.
few games for it. It was a freaking disaster. Oh, oh, Bachmio just stole the creeping
1,
death.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that almost got Richards a little bit there. Ooh, a little
1,
driver.
2.
Yeah, and here's the thing, the
1.
Saturn does have decent games on there, like the Virtual
Fight.
Fighter games, Duke Nukem,
1, 2.
college, college jam, like the NBA Jam Clone College Jam or whatever, that's decent on there. I mean, some of the racing games are good. I mean, Panzer Dragoon. Any Sonic game that was released on there is considered pretty decent. I mean, there were good games released on the Saturn. It's just, I mean, between PlayStation coming out and then the and PlayStation, let's not forget, PlayStation was also a CD player, which was a pretty massive thing to be that 1-2 punch like that. And also the N64 came out like 96, I think, 96 to 97. And, you know, in that system, I would consider better than the Saturn. $299 for the Saturn? Was that the launch price for the Saturn? Or was that place?
1, 2.
Oh, Kimura lock. Oh, he made him tap. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that got 100? Jeez. Oh, wow. Well, no wonder people bought the PlayStation over Saturn. It was $100 cheaper, and you got an excellent CD player out of it. Yeah, no wonder no one bought the Saturn. It was $399 for a thing like that. So let's reiterate. The Saturn came out months early. Sega didn't tell a soul. Very few games were around for it because developers didn't know either. And it was $399. And then keep in mind, the PlayStation was coming out a bit later, cheaper, with more games. Of course people are going to pick fucking PlayStation. I mean... Yeah, and it makes sense they would move them to the Saturn. Yeah, it said $299. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah, that was what a diss that was. Jeez. Like, what a way to undercut. And but you know what? I mean, Nintendo. This was the first time Nintendo kind of went their own path, because Nintendo, since the N64 generation, went their own way. Because before then, they were kind of among the top two. They were kind of the competitor, the yin and the yang. But once PlayStation came out, they kind of went their own way with it. And it probably benefited them. I mean, granted, during that time, N64 didn't outdo the PlayStation by a long shot, but it made a mark nonetheless. And it's a mark that people still are vibing with today. Oh, next match. After the third match, Bobby Heenan goes up to the announcer and brags about Haas beating Angle and that Bundy will win this match and the title, and then laughs about Shelton Benjamin possibly being hurt. Heenan just having a riot there. But yeah, we're going to go to that TV title match here. Johnny Saint will be defending against Bundy with Heenan at ringside. Alright, let's see how it goes here. But yeah. Yeah, they did. Came out during November of '94 in Japan. PS1 released in December of '94 in Japan. Okay, you see, that's about right. The Saturn supposed to be launched during the spring of '95. Yeah, yeah, spring. And that's the thing. You never see consoles released in the spring. It's always the fall. So they jumped the gun. They should have waited till the fall of '95. I don't know when the PlayStation for America came out. I thought it was '94, but it could have been the fall of '95. I think it was. But yeah, they jumped the gun. Like, if they would have waited till the fall, I mean, yeah, they would have to compete with PlayStation, but they would have had games ready to showcase, and everything would have went. If everything went as planned, they probably would have been better off. I don't know if they would have been top seller or even in second place compared to N64, but they would have made a hell of a lot more money, in all honesty, if they went that route instead of jumping the gun, because, you know, God forbid they should release their shit on the same day. I mean, and that's the thing too, like, the last time consoles had different release dates was the, well, actually, there always were. I mean, because after that one, the next one, PS2 came out in 2000, and Xbox and GameCube came out in 01. And then in the next gen, 360 came out in 2005. Was it 2005 or was it 2006? I think it was 2006. 360 came out in 2006, while PlayStation and Wii... Or no, wait, no. 360 and Wii, I think, came out in 2006, while the PS3 came out in 07. And then the Wii, PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U came out around the same time. But the Wii U sucked so bad that they had to jump the gun and release the Switch, their next-gen console, many years early. And they've been coasting off the Switch since. The Switch 2, that's going to be coming out soon. So right now, Nintendo's kind of on their own pace for consoles, pretty much. But Xbox and PlayStation, they're at a point where they're kind of at a 6-year cycle right now, where every 6 years they're going to come out with a new console, pretty much. Because... 06, okay. I was a year off with that. Alright. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 05, but I knew there was a year separating the two. Okay. I'm a little off with the math. But yeah, it wasn't. But that's the biggest issue with yeah, the portable systems kind of get their own little thing because, you know, they kind of... It's kind of weird. Like, they're kind of in the in-between spots because the PSP, even though it was released during the PS2 era, its system was pretty much its UI was pretty much PS3, which is kind of crazy to think about, that they had the UI for that much earlier than the PS3 when they put on the PS3. It's like you're getting a little sneak peek. 2 drop kicks lands Bundy out of the ring. Choke slam. Heenan, two guys in his clientele right now, hoping both guys get a belt here. Has already has one. He's hoping Bundy gets a TV title here. Yeah, I feel bad for the Vita. The Vita is a great system, but it's very limited in games. I mean, it has a lot of games. It's just a good majority of them are like the same type, which is like RPGs. There's not like a lot of diversity within that system, which kind of sucks, in all honesty. Like, in terms of game library, you're better off with the PSP. Which...
1, 2. Give up. Give up.
And for some stretches there.
Give up. Give up.
Butterfly suplex. Oh. Bundy's dazed. Suplex is Sane out of the ring. Yeah, it was definitely a mistake on their part. The memory card. Yes, the memory sticks. I don't remember which model PSP I have. I think it's the 2000 or 3000. I don't have the 2000, the 1000 model 1000. I don't have the first one. I know that much. Bundy with the win. We got a new champion. Ah, man, that's annoying. I might have to sneak one in at some point, because I do want to try to get more into my PSP. I got some games for it, but it's kind of hard to get into, like, portable gaming nowadays, because because of the way technology is, it can be a little repetitive. But if you can get a really, really good game that you can really only play on PSP, then it definitely more than justifies any kind of, like, unorthodoxness there. Alright, after that match, there's a scheduled interview with Jerry Lynn, but before he has asked anything, Chris Benoit comes out and says that he doesn't like the fans or the style of wrestling or Jerry Lynn has, but he has showed a level of intensity that he didn't have before, and when he beat him at the pay-per-view and offers the handshake out of respect, Lynn does accept this. Benoit heads to the ring for his match against Owen Hart. The announcer then asks what's next for Jerry Lynn, to which he responds that he would like to take care of that crazy man Cactus Jack, and says he would like to face him next week. And now we go on to our next match, Benoit versus Owen Hart. Alright, let's see how it goes. Interesting that they would do that with the Switch and everything. To be honest, what I think is they should have all 3DS games be modded to play on Switch. Now, I don't know, but I get why they would do that, because 3DS games, the way they design them with the double screen, it's kind of hard to put that in other things like the Switch. So I can see why they might make a 3DS successor, but who would it... The audience for that would be interesting, though. Like, would it make money is the biggest thing. Yeah, exactly. It is. I can see if they could find a way to have 3DS games playable on the Switch, That would be something. But I know that some Switch game, a lot of 3DS games require certain things the Switch can't do. PlayStation Portable. Yeah, it sucks because PlayStation and Xbox is kind of in a weird spot, like Microsoft, because they're also computer driven. They kind of sneak past the portableness with stuff like the Steam Deck and all that. So, ooh, big pile driver there. So, but in all honesty, the way I feel about it is I do think there is, like, I think portable gaming that isn't on the phone is still very much something that is desired. I just think if you're gonna go about it, I think the portable system itself has to be pretty much like the same as the console. Like, I don't think you can get away with cheapening things anymore with portable stuff when direct thing with console. Like, back in the day it was expected because the technology wasn't there yet, but now it is. So yeah, I think it's just sharpshooter. I just think it's a lot of expectations, and I think that at some point the PS5 add-on system, yeah, they had to. I think they had to, because I think it's very tough for video game companies to do anything outside of rhythmic norm anymore, because, well, and I think a lot of it, I think, is because it costs so much money and time to make anything anymore in a video game landscape that they have to rely on all this extra stuff like the DLCs and impartial game completions. Like, oh, we'll put that campaign mode in later, just you wait, and all that crap. And in all honesty, like, I don't think all the extra fluff that they put in, like the graphics and all that, I don't know if it's worth all the extra hoops they have to, like, go through, like incomplete games and all the DLC packs, all that extra stuff to justify making a game. I mean, if it's to that level, then maybe dumb it down a little bit, because at this point, I don't know how. I mean, graphics. I mean, some of the graphics of some of these games is amazing. But here's the thing. Like, once we got to that PS3 360 gen, has the graphics for those improved with PS4 gen and the PS5 gen? Yeah, sure it has. But enough to the point to justify all the new video game practices in the industry? I don't think so. That's my opinion, yo. Some people think it does, but I don't.
Give up? Give up?
Yeah, it would have been nice if it was connectable with the Vita. It definitely would have been nice. I have both a Vita and a PSP, and I love the Vita, but it's very hard for me to find reasons to play on that system because there's just barely any games on there that I would play. Like, I don't mind playing an RPG, but RPGs are kind of finicky for me. Like, there has to be something in it that draws me in, and a lot of them are very much like for a specific audience, and I'm not quite there yet with RPGs. I might be at some point in the future, but I'm not quite there right now. Oh, look at those chops.
2, 3, 4.
Wild Bomb with the cover.
1, 2.
A Wii U clone, yeah. Pretty much. And look, I don't hate the Wii U. It's another system I don't have, and to be honest, I'm more likely to get a Saturn first than I'm going to get a Wii U, because the Wii U video game, like, oh, crossface.
Give up? Give up?
The Wii U video game library is even more of a joke than the Saturn library. Like, it's pretty much just Nintendo games. And a good chunk of them have already been ported to the Switch. It's kinda...
1, 2, 3.
Ooh, Owen steals a victory there. 84. Alright, we move on here. After that match, the announcer says that during the commercial break, he got a call from the matchmaker and confirmed that he will allow the match between Cactus Jack and Jerry Lynn to happen and will be the main event next week. As we go to our main event for this episode here, it's a non-title match between Haas and Robinson, with Heenan on ringside for Haas. See. Who's it? Robinson, yeah. Robinson's been pretty solid here. It'll be interesting to see if he can defeat how he handles against the champ in non-title contention. Alright, see how it goes. Yeah, I would like to see a succession. Because Vita kind of suffers the same way library-wise like the Wii U. Like, any games that are unique to this system have been released on other systems at this point, with improvements and touches and stuff. It's tough. It's really unfortunate that the Vita kind of got, like, I wish there was more PSP games on the Vita as well. Like, if we had the PSP varied library of games on the Vita, it'd be a juggernaut portable system. And to be honest, that's probably a big reason why I feel like Nintendo in the portable system war kind of won that compared to PlayStation, because they never had a library issue. The library for the systems was always, like, solid. And PlayStation just didn't keep up with that when they did the Vita. But the PSP was a great system, though. You know, that's another thing, too. And it had a good to great library. And you could play movies on it. Now, granted, the weird-ass system and everything may not have been the preference, but it still was a nice little thing. Where if you could get a movie or two and you could watch it on the go, you know, that was a big thing for the time. Nowadays, that's barely anything. I mean, hell, we can watch whole ass YouTube streams on our phones. Not right into a sleeper. Ooh, wicked German. Right into an armbar.
Give up.
Also, like to take a moment. This was put in the Discord, but the new one of the new promotions that's coming out next season, that's gonna be within the IGW umbrella, a brother sister promotion with IGW. The name has finally been picked for it. It's gonna be the House of Wrestle Hell, HWH, and the 16-man roster has already been revealed for it. It was posted in our Retro Sports Gamer Discord. I should have posted in the Campy Discord, just bad habits on my end. The 16-man roster is going to include the Eliminators tag team with Perry Saturn and John Kronos. Then the tag team of the New Gangsters with New Jack and Mustafa. Then we got the tag team of Danny Doring and Roadkill. And then we got the stable, the Mean Street Posse, which will include Pete Gas, Joey Abs, Rodney, and Shane McMahon. Then we got Kenyon, Steve Carino rounding the man's side up. Then we're going to have the beginning of a women's division that's going to include Daphne, Victoria, Abaddon, and Ivory.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Man, Haas really working those legs over. Neck breaker from Robinson. There's a bunch of canceled Sonic games for Saturn besides Extreme. Yeah, I bet. You know what? That's the biggest thing. I feel like out of all the games they could have released for the Saturn to help it, I think creating a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or something like that, that should have been the #1 priority. By far. Like, the fact that they were so chill with Sonic barely being mentioned, the Saturn's a joke.
4, 5.
Oh, suplexes them out of the ring. I mean, geez, it must have been a breath of fresh air when the Dreamcast came out and it had those two Sonic Adventure games. It must have been like a dream.
Fight!
Ooh, backbreaker. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Like, splash.
1, 2.
But here's the thing too. Unlike Sega, even during the Saturn era, Nintendo had so many brands they could go with. Like they had so many great characters and games attached to it. Now, granted, none of them are on the same level as Mario, except for maybe Zelda. Oh, look at this! Robinson knocks down the champ. Mario, in all honesty. But even then, it's like, I mean, even nowadays, like with frickin' Xbox, I mean, like Microsoft, they're comfortable with launching an Xbox system without Halo involved, and that's so stupid because that series pretty much made Xbox. In all honesty, it did. And it's kind of sad that it's kind of where it's at right now, because it really shouldn't be. It really should be more than what it's being put in. And I don't know. I kind of feel like right now, in terms of first-person shooters, I kind of feel like that their popularity, they're still popular, they're still being played, but I feel like in terms of like the spirit and innovation of that genre is kind of dying down. And I think people are kind of feeling that a little bit. That's why you don't see Call of Duty games released every year anymore, or like battle royales like Apex and all are not like bringing in numbers like they used to. Or hell, even fucking Fortnite is branching out to other game modes like the Lego thing that's a Minecraft-like and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a mistake. They shouldn't have done that. That was a huge misfire. Sonic should have been their #1 priority. Because even though they have other franchises, during that time, let's not kid ourselves. Sonic was their Halo. That made the Genesis sell, was the Sonic game. Yeah. Just a lot of mismanagement for sure. Alright, let's see how well the show did here. All right, 85. Not a bad starting number for the week here. I'll have to calculate the bonuses and whatnot, but pretty solid starting number for the week 7 here. In terms of streaming schedule, like I said, I'm going to try to do GSW and TWL tomorrow. That's going to be the plan. If something changes, I'll share it in the Discord, but that's kind of the plan right now. If something does happen, and I can't do 2 streams, I'll probably do SCW. But we'll have to see. I don't plan on something like that happening, but it is but anything can happen. So we'll just see how things go. But that is the plan at the moment. But outside of all that, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. In case you guys want to chat with anyone at the Camping Company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab in our channel as well. You can access that anywhere at any time. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.